In the heart of Chicago's bustling business district stood the towering headquarters of Everglide Technologies, a billion-dollar software company built from nothing by its elusive CEO, Martin Hargrove. Known as a sharp mind with a cold exterior, Martin was rarely seen on the lower floors of the company. He trusted department heads, relied on quarterly reports, and only mingled with the upper echelon. Until one day, he vanished from his corner office and reappeared as a Marty Hale, a newly hired IT support technician. What Martin discovered while working among his own employees would not only break his heart, it would get someone killed. Martin Hargrove was 55 years old and beginning to feel out of touch with his empire. Whispers had reached him, whispers about corruption, hostile work environments, and even missing internal funds. The reports painted a perfect picture, but his instincts told a different story. He didn't want a paper trail. He didn't want a team. He wanted truth. So, with the help of a private investigator friend, he legally created an alias, Marty Hale, complete with fabricated employment records and credentials. He applied for a junior IT role through a third-party hiring agency the company used. And just like that, the king became a pawn. His assistant, Angela, the only one aware of the plan, helped him prepare. Shaved beard. Dyed hair. Glasses. Casual clothes. The transformation was complete. Marty Hale was assigned to the 14th floor, customer solutions and internal tech support. A floor Martin had never stepped foot on in years. From the very first day, something felt off. Equipment requests were ignored. Female employees were visibly uncomfortable around certain managers. Workstations lacked basic maintenance. And employees whispered about the Friday Room, a nickname for Conference Room 14C, always mysteriously locked on Fridays. Martin quietly made notes. He paid attention to the hierarchy. Two names kept resurfacing: Mason Trent, the director of IT operations, and Lisa Fairchild, the vice president of human resources. Both were revered in meetings, respected, even feared. But behind closed doors, employees flinched at their names. Martin didn't understand why. Until one Thursday evening. It was 6:45 p.m. Most of the staff had gone home. Marty, pretending to fix a network switch, lingered in the hallway outside the infamous Conference Room 14C. He saw Lisa and Mason enter with a man he didn't recognize, young, probably late 20s. The door closed. 30 minutes later, only Mason and Lisa walked out. The young man never came out. Martin knocked gently, pretending to have an IT request. No response. The door was locked. The next morning, when he asked a nearby employee about the man, she shook her head. What man? That room's never in use. Martin checked the company logs. Conference Room 14C wasn't even listed in the floor's booking system. It was as if the room didn't exist. That's when his instincts sharpened from curiosity to dread. Using his CEO-level security access, still active under his real identity, Martin remotely accessed the building's internal surveillance backups. He watched the Thursday night footage. Sure enough, the camera outside room 14C had a 30-minute blackout. Just static, but that wasn't the only blackout. It happened every Friday. Like clockwork. 6:30 to 7 p.m. He pulled the logs for the past 6 months. 8 different employees had entered room 14C, none of whom worked there anymore. According to HR records, they all resigned voluntarily. One name stood out: Kevin Rossner. A software analyst who vanished 4 months ago. His resignation letter looked oddly generic. Martin's private investigator later confirmed Kevin's apartment had been left untouched. No clothes missing. Laptop still charging. Kevin Rossner was missing. Martin needed proof. The following Friday, he volunteered for overnight system updates, an excuse to remain on the floor after hours. At exactly 6:25 p.m., he positioned himself near Conference Room 14C. At 6:30 p.m., Lisa and Mason walked in again. This time with another employee, a young woman from tech support named Ellie. Martin's chest tightened. 15 minutes later, a muffled cry pierced through the hallway. It was brief, just seconds. Then silence. They exited the room. Only two. Ellie never returned. Martin waited for hours. At 1 a.m., he broke into room 14C using a master maintenance key he had borrowed earlier. What he found chilled his bones. Behind the fake wall paneling was a soundproofed storage compartment, cold, dimly lit. Inside was Ellie's lifeless body. Duct tape on her mouth. A stab wound in her chest. And next to her body, stuffed in a bag, were items that belonged to the other missing employees, IDs, wallets, and company phones. Martin called 911 anonymously, using a burner phone he had secured earlier. He left the building unseen. The police investigation began swiftly. Martin resumed his CEO role within days, under the guise of returning from an extended health retreat. Detectives arrived at the building to begin questioning. Lisa Fairchild played dumb. Mason Trent lawyered up. But both were arrested when a security technician came forward with a flash drive, ordered months ago to wipe backup footage for conference room 14C. He had secretly kept a copy, sensing something sinister. The footage showed Lisa stabbing Ellie while Mason watched. Even worse. The footage also revealed that Lisa and Mason were part of an illegal internal blackmail operation. Employees who had uncovered financial fraud or harassment within the company were coerced, silenced, and in some cases, murdered. Ellie had found an email thread between them and threatened to report it. The trial made national headlines. Lisa Fairchild confessed in a plea deal. She detailed how Mason had manipulated young employees with promises of raises and later used threats to cover up corporate embezzlement. When certain individuals, like Kevin or Ellie, threatened to go public, they were handled. Her final words in court sent chills: "We only did what the system let us do. People disappear in corporations all the time. We just cleaned the mess." Mason showed no remorse. He received life without parole. Lisa got 35 years. Martin Hargrove was never the same. He stepped down a month after the trial, giving majority control to a victims' relief trust fund. He publicly admitted to the disguise operation, leading to heated debates in the media about ethics, accountability, and corporate culture. In an emotional interview, he said, "I walked among my people to learn their truth. And I found a graveyard beneath my glass tower." He broke down in tears on live television, an image replayed endlessly. Everglide Technologies survived the scandal, but barely. Room 14C was permanently sealed. The company redesigned its entire HR and internal monitoring systems. But the story of the undercover CEO who discovered murder within his own empire became a chilling reminder, and when you stop listening to those beneath you, you might never hear the cries.